Okay, so the Philly series normalized. A lot of people thought that, like, oh my God, the Sixers won game one. What are they going to do? What is Boston going to do when they beat them without Joel Embiid? And other people were thinking, oh, the C's got this. It doesn't matter. They're too good of a team to just, like, play that badly, especially in a series, in a 7-game series. But I do believe that this was a good game for the C's. It showed that their superstars don't need to go extremely crazy for them to win. With that being said, shout out to Jaylen Brown, the MVP of this game. He was absolutely cooking in the first half, and then in the second half, he slowed down, but he was still doing enough to win them the game. I do want to say that Jason Tatum only played 20 minutes, and he played horribly. I don't know if he went down with an injury, but I know that he shot 14% from the field, 0% from three, got 7 points, but he was still a plus 24 when he was on the floor, which is a crazy thing to see, honestly. I do want to say shout out to Grant Williams and Malcolm Brogdon. Without them, they don't win this game. They were extreme difference makers from defense to scoring, especially where they both put up Grant Williams made 4 threes on 50% shooting, and Malcolm Brogdon made 6 threes on 60% shooting. Malcolm Brogdon was the MVP of the bench, really, because I know that sounds crazy, but these two teams have such good benches that you just kind of have to account for them as if they were as important as the starters. And he got 23 points, he got 2 assists, 6 rebounds, and he played a great game. And he got a block, which, he's Malcolm Brogdon, like, come on. But on the Philly side, I just believe it was their inefficiency to get good offense. They shot 20% as a team from three. They shot 40% from the field. And I believe that above all else, this is just that Joel Embiid and James Harden have to be superstars, right? Like, they both played terribly this game. Like, James Harden played 32 minutes, and he shot 14% and 0% from three. He literally had the same efficiency as Tatum, but Tatum only played 20 minutes as opposed to James Harden's 32. James Harden barely passed. He was playing a horrible game. Tobias Harris has been insane. Like, even when they lose, he's been really good. And I want to say that it's been great to see him just grow into, like, this old veteran who can make shots and actually be efficient. I do want to say that Embiid needs to start being Embiid. I am sick of Embiid. Just, like, yes, I know he gets guarded like the best player in the world. Like, I don't think Giannis or Jokic get guarded as hard as this guy does, who are the other two guys who were the runner-ups in MVP. But we do have to say that from a superstar, we do expect you to put up a better stat line than 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Now, 5 blocks is insane, but, like, you're not scoring half the points that you're scoring in the regular season. You're not grabbing a third of the rebounds, and you're shooting 44% from the field as a big man. It's like, I think he had a horrible game. Shout out to PJ Tucker. He seemed like the only efficient thing about this team. Of course, he doesn't get a lot of shots, but, at least he was able to make shots, effectively, efficiently. I would shout out to Paul Reed for having an efficient game. Even if these guys didn't score a lot of points, I do want to give some shout outs to guys who at least shot efficiently, because this team was just full of, like, chokes this game. I don't know if it was Boston. I don't know if it was pressure. I don't know if it's that they got overconfident. But in my opinion, the biggest problem with Philly is their efficiency. Like, look, you have 2 all-star caliber players on your team, and you have the MVP of the league. You In no circumstance should you be shooting 40% from the field as a team and 20% from three. No circumstance, right? Like maybe if you got to the line a lot and they fouled you a lot, but even then you would still be shooting better than that. And it's not like Boston shot well either. They shot 46% from the field and 39% from three. Yes, they shot well from three, but they shot below percentage in the field, which is where Philly should be dominating. They should be bruising them. They should be making them pay. And in my opinion, this shows that when it comes down to it and when you need your superstars to play, they need to step up. Like, look, I love Joel Embiid, but when you have a guy who can't give you a big game in the playoffs and is half injured, then what are you going to do? How are you going to win games, right? This may be an overreaction. I do admit that because this is one terrible game, but I haven't seen Embiid do anything too spectacular in these playoffs. Like last playoffs, he played out of his mind. But in this one, he's just, I understand that his team swept in the first round, but it was against a bad team. So when you see these teams which are perfectly built like the Celtics or the Heat, which are built to face any lineup, right, which are clutch, they have superstars, and they play aggressively every night, how are you going to go up against that when your superstar can't shoot efficiently and is having this bad of games? I do not want to go at Philly as much as I want to go on Embiid. I believe that he was the MVP. If I would have had a vote, it would have been Embiid or Giannis, but it would have been Embiid was my first candidate. And I believe that it's extremely disappointing that this guy, who we just crowned the best player in the league, and by the way, this has happened before, it's just that the guy who we crowned as the best player in the league can't perform in the playoffs. The MVP is a regular season award, but I do believe that it's a bad look that this playoffs, has been kind of trash. He hasn't been able to get his shots up. All he's been doing is rebounding and defending. And it's like, that's good because your team swept in the first round. But when it took a 45-point performance to win when you were not there, then that means, by the way, with the game-winning three, if it took a 45-point performance to win when you were not there, then that means that the team needs you. The team really does need you. And I know that that sounds like overstating it and putting too much, but no, this team needs Embiid. They won without him. That was a miracle of a game, especially against Boston, one of the best built rosters in this league, which I made a video about. But yeah, like, in my opinion, Embiid has to step up. The Sixers have to shoot better. They have to get guys out there who can handle that playoff pressure, because if the Celtics keep doing what they're doing, then it's going to be very hard for this Philly team to stop anything that they have coming to them.